QST, QST, QST. This is Ed, W4 Echo Mike Bravo. Thank you for tuning into the CW Corner podcast, where we talk about all kind of things, amateur radio, portable operations and antennas, and anything that our listeners would like to hear about. You can contact me through qrz.com. My email is good if there's a subject you'd like to hear me talk about. So let's go ahead and tune in to today's subject.
Hello, this is Thomas, K4SWL, and you're listening to Ed, W4EMB on the CW Corner podcast.
Here on the CW Corner podcast today, I'm going to talk about my portable operating mistakes or failures or just unforeseen circumstances. Just to let you know that, you know what, it happens to all of us. All right, well, let's get into it. Let's talk about those portable operations where I get in the vehicle, got my stuff in the car, and I head out and I get to the park and realize I drove all this way for nothing. All right, so what have I done or not done? I left my only power cord to the radio at home. I was messing around with my equipment. Sometimes I like to break out my QRP rig and set it here on the main desk at my station here, and sit there and make some QRP contacts on my QRP rig just to get familiar with my rig and experiment around a little bit. So I actually have an antenna switch that I can go from my primary rig to a alternate rig, and so that spare coax just sits here on the floor until I flip my antenna switch over and hook it up to my little QRP rig and, drop a battery here on the desk and power it up and play some QRP here at the desk with that rig. And lo and behold, I pack everything up and get out there to the park and realize that my power cord is laying on my desk at home. I laid it up and away in a place where I wouldn't lose it. And the problem was, well, I couldn't see it to remember to pack it up. So that's right. I got all the way to the park and I had zero power cord to get from the radio to my battery. And speaking of my battery, another trip, I got out to the park and realized my battery was sitting at home next to the charger. And I think around that time, I think it was AA0Z Kyle had posted a video on his CW channel about forgetting a battery, and I remember making some sort of snarky comment, cheeky comment there about it, and lo and behold, I had to go back and tell on myself, and I made I think it was Kyle, where I made a second comment like, well, guess what, I deserve it. I made a cheeky comment about your battery being at home, and guess where mine's at. The other thing I've done about that battery is I've been out to the park, and in this particular instance, luckily, I think I'd made 10 or 11 contacts. And this is the first time this had happened to me, and last at this moment, knock on wood. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I was sitting there, calling CQ POTA, blip, and everything just shut off. I didn't know what had happened. I turned around, looked at my antenna to see if did I short something out? What's going on here? And then I tried to power my radio back on. And it would come on and shut right back off. Then it just wouldn't come on at all. And luckily, I had a little battery tester there that I carry, a little inline thing. I hooked it up and realized, oh, I forgot to charge my battery. So, there I am with my battery at home next to the charger. Then another trip, there I am with an uncharged battery. You just can't win sometimes. But talking about how I turned around and looked at my antenna, let's go into some of the antenna mistakes that I've made out there doing parks on the air or doing portable stuff. I've sat down, got ready to operate, grabbed up my key, and I start to call CQ, and my radio tells me it's got high SWR. Like, what's going on? I turn around, I look at my antenna, everything looks good. Yeah. Oh, this coax thing, I guess it needs to be hooked to the radio. I mean, that's right. I just had everything all laid out, set up, ready to go, and sat down and got my pencil, paper, and all that kind of stuff going, and just failed to hook the coax to the radio. And I think Aaron Bowman, W4ARB, about 2 videos ago, he did something very similar. And so this little tidbit today is just to let you know we have all done these things. Yeah. The other thing about that antenna is I get ready. I start calling CQ. Oh, high SWR. Huh, I check that coax. Well, it's connected. I look at my antenna. My radials. They're sitting here in the bag. I haven't even put my radials on my antenna. That was when I was using my vertical whip. I have one called the MC 750 telescopic whip. It uses 4 radials. Sometimes I put 8 on it. And yeah, I didn't even extend, or correction, I didn't put my radials on. And then that leads me to the next one, where another time, everything's all set up. I go to call CQ. High SWR. Oh, my coax is on. Oh, my radials are on. Oh, the antenna's out there. I just didn't extend the whip. I just left it all nested. So I had to walk out there and extend the whip. And then yet another time, I go to call CQ, high SWR. Oh, I got my coax. I go to look at my my antenna to make sure my radials are on it, make sure my whip is up, and I don't see the antenna. This is an instance where I'd actually placed my antenna behind me, and I didn't have eyes on it. And I turn around and look, it was laying on the ground, and it was shortly after I'd started using the tripod for the MC750, and that was before I experienced it falling over. I guess prior to that, the half a dozen times I'd used it, I'd been in no wind, or I've been up in a wood line where there's enough trees blocking the wind. But the MC750 tripod does have short little legs, and it can get blown over easily in the wind. So yeah, I didn't even notice that it had fallen over in the wind. I've rectified that since then. Now, there for a long while, I used to place a bungee cord over top of 2 of the legs with 2 tent stakes. But one of my viewers on my YouTube channel said that some of the parts he goes to, he's not allowed to put anything in the ground, and they're very strict about it. So he had to make another adaptation, and he had come up with 3 3-foot pieces of 3/4-inch PVC pipe that he literally just slides over the feet of the tripod. So it gives it really long feet in each direction. And he says it's very stable. So I tried that, and lo and behold, that worked really well. And I even passed that idea on to my buddy N1CC, Mike, of the Long Island CW Club, who was going out on a POTA activation in Utah. A lot of open area out there, so I knew that wind would be a factor. So I shared that with him, and lo and behold, he did it and said it worked wonderfully. Well, there we go. We've covered some POTA mistakes or experiences. Maybe experiences is the better word. So power cords, battery charging, antenna, everything about the antenna, like literally everything. Not hooking it up, not extending it, not putting the radials on. You know, I got one job, really? Come on. So if you experienced any of these things, please drop it in the comments below with your call sign. If you're on my YouTube channel, or I'm not sure, you know, when this gets to Spotify, I don't know if people can drop comments on Spotify. I don't know how to check that. Actually, I think I use my YouTube channel to RSS feed these directly to Spotify, which I think my last one didn't work. I got to relearn how to do that. Anyway, well, that covers some of the POTA outings and lessons learned. If you've got some lessons learned, please pass them along. I'd love to hear about them. My email is good on qrz.com. You can let me know if there's anything you'd like to hear on this CW Corner podcast. And I'd like to thank you for tuning in today and listening. Hopefully these short little tidbits are a nice little addition to your commutes to and from wherever you're going. And I appreciate you joining. I'm Ed, W4EMB. We'll see you on the next one, 72. Well, if you're QRP like you should be, hi.